Fire the cannons. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have won Super Bowl 55. I am super pumped up. That was an awesome game. For me, probably sucked for a lot of neutral fans, but for Bucs fans, it was fantastic. Let's just get into it and talk about what went right for Tampa Bay. So we'll start off with this play. Right now, Tampa Bay is currently down 3-0, and, we're late in the first quarter right here. And really, one of the key ways they were able to go up was by having Rob Gronkowski and having Cameron Brady, two really good receiving tight ends. But honestly, there's so much more to it than just that. It wasn't just the fact that they have, Gronkowski and Brady. It was also just the way they were playing calls. I think anyone who was talking smack about Bruce Arians and Byron Leftwich, especially early on, there were some drives that were just fantastic. So the way this is working is that it's man coverage for Kansas City, and you have, it's kind of like a pick play where Gronkowski is going to run all the way from Brady's right to try to get outside the numbers to Brady's left. That's where he'll get open. Evans is going to kind of run over the middle. He could kind of get in the way of Daniel Sorensen. That's the safety who is covering Rob Gronkowski on this play. But there's also going to be a play action here, and establishing the run really opened up play action a lot, I thought, and it's really going to affect Daniel Sorensen. Watch Sorensen and watch how he kind of just slowly, he's still looking at Brady, he's still looking at a potential run, and very slowly gets over. So Gronkowski just has a huge lead on Sorensen. If Sorensen just booked it, he would have been in a decent position, and he probably could have had time to get around Evans and wouldn't make mistakes. This plays another good example of that, where again, same concept, and it's going to be a play action once again. We're starting with the play already started a little. The CBS broadcast didn't quite get the beginning of this play, but close enough. You see the play, and Mike Evans is going to be the guy to watch here. One of the things that was really interesting going in was, this Kansas City secondary is really good at man coverage, and while the Bucs wide receivers are insane. You have Antonio Brown, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. They were going to have to win their one-on-one matchups, and Mike Evans was able to, win his first one-on-one matchup of the day on this play, and in a big way. What he's doing right here is he's stepped to the inside, but he's going to then he stepped to the outside, closer to the sideline, but then he's going to step back to the inside, and he's going to kind of create some contact, which is legal at this point of the field, and then try to just use his speed to run by his assigned man. And watch how well this works. He just, smokes his assigned man. And by the way, you see the number, that's 21. That's Bashaud Breeland. That's Kansas City's really, their best corner, I would say. He's really good. He doesn't get burned like that too often. He just got burned like that against Mike Evans, and that was a huge play. Evans also does a great job, makes the grab, gets the ball all the way inside the 10 to about the 6-yard line. Really good job by him. And again, the star players had to come through, and in a big ways, that's a big example of that, where if you don't get it, who knows what happens, but you get the chunk play. If I remember correctly, didn't actually set up the touchdown. That set up the near touchdown that didn't quite result in a touchdown. But, there was then a sort of butterfly effect. It led to a short punt, which led to another touchdown. So kind of all the same thing. Let's break down a defensive play. Clearly Tampa Bay's strategy was, hey, what are we going to do? We're going to just make you have to run 10, 12 plays to get a touchdown. And at some point, you're going to make a mistake, and we're going to capitalize on it. And that happened here on a 3rd down and 6. They know that their defensive line is better than Kansas City's offensive line, and they said we're going to try and take advantage of that by playing 2 safeties, or in this case there's 2 safeties and a corner who are deep. They're really taking away anything deep, and they did this the entire length of the field. So eventually on a 3rd down, Kansas City is going to screw up. What's happening here is actually there's 2 guys to watch. It's going to be Jason Pierre-Paul, who's actually lined up on the inside. Vita Vea is currently lined up on the edge on this play. Pierre-Paul is the one lined up closer to the bottom of the screen, and then Shaq Barrett on the top of the screen. Those are the 2 guys. Mahomes takes the snap right here, and you're going to see 2 things. For one thing, see how Barrett's starting to get to the inside. The right tackle stepped too far to the outside. Barrett, he's the kind of guy, he's going to take advantage of this. He's going to get to the inside. On top of this, you now have Jason Pierre-Paul, who what he's going to do is kind of just a swipe move. He's going to get his right arm and try to get to his right of 73 right there, and they're both going to have success. Mahomes had nothing he could have done on that play but just throw it away and live to see enough. Make it an 8-point game. Still plenty of time left. 3rd and 6. That's kind of hard to convert, especially against this defense. So right here, this is a 1st down and goal. And you might be wondering how we got here. There's 10 seconds left. It's a 8-point game. And what happened was, as I'm sure all of you remember, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were willing to run out the clock, but Andy Reid started calling timeouts, and you just can't do that. It's just a mistake. I don't know what in the world Andy Reid was thinking. I really don't. And because he decided to take those timeouts, Tampa Bay eventually got the first down, and they were able to march down the field. There were some, ticky-tack calls, we'll say, but, still, that's football. It happens. And Tampa Bay was able to get all the way to the 1-yard line. And this play was still kind of a baffling decision from Kansas City. I didn't really fully understand this, where, 10 seconds left, but Tampa Bay has no timeouts left. So while Tampa Bay is in a heavy set, they have 3 tight ends in the game, they're not going to be running the ball here, probably. I mean, it would be a real surprise if they ran the ball. You could potentially, because you could say, hey, Kansas City, they're not going to be expecting a run right here, so let's run it and get the touchdown. And if it doesn't work out, well, then we don't score, but it's still worth the risk right there, because, you might go for it on 4th down also, this close. But realistically, they're going to try and pass it right here. And Antonio Brown, the only guy who's, only wide receiver in the game right here, and he's getting covered by Tyrann Mathieu, which makes 0 sense to me. There's only one wide receiver in the game. Why are you having a safety cover him? And that's not disrespect to Mathieu. He's one of the better coverage safeties, but he is still a safety. Get Breland on him. Honestly, double team him. Why aren't you double teaming Antonio Brown right here? This makes 0 sense to me. But again, what Tampa Bay did was they took advantage of Kansas City's mistakes. Brady runs a play action. Kansas City bites on the play action. And as you see, Antonio Brown's just wide open. I mean, it's unfair to Mathieu. He shouldn't be put in this position, quite frankly. And I know it's not quite so simple as saying, like, hey, Rob Gronkowski and Cameron Brate aren't just 2 regular tight ends. Also worth mentioning, Gronkowski is about to get wide open as well. But this is just too easy for Brady, especially with the biting on the play action. Brady has, clean pocket. This is perfect situation for Tampa Bay. Tom Brady is able to make the throw. Antonio Brown makes the grab, and that's just a tough situation for Mathieu that he should never have been in, and you got to blame Kansas City's coaching. They kind of put their players in positions to fail a little bit. If your opponent's making a mistake, let them make a mistake. Tampa Bay was making a mistake, and Andy Reid didn't let them. So yeah, that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. What were your thoughts on this very fun game for me? Again, for me. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and of course, as always, thanks for watching.